All right, welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Jennifer Margraf. This is Algebra 1. I'm sorry I'm not able to be there tonight, but I have recorded my presentation for you, so you'll be getting the same information as if I was there. Here's my contact information. Email is preferred, but there's my phone number as well. Okay, so while people are still coming in, just a little bit of get to know me. There are a few statements here, and 3 of them are false. So see if you can figure out which 3. I play field hockey in college. I come from a family of 8 in total. My husband and I were in 6th grade band together. My family used to have a pet rooster named Fluffy. I actually majored in English. I was in gymnastics until the age of 9, and I've won food eating contests. So again, 3 are false. See if you can figure out which ones. The first one is playing field hockey in college. That is false. I do not have coordination, so no field hockey ever, but I did actually run cross country and track in both high school and college. The next one is majoring in English. That is false. I'm a diehard math lover. I majored in mathematics, certainly not English. And then finally, the last false one is gymnastics. I was never in gymnastics. Again, no coordination. I did the sport that just required one foot in front of the other, a little faster than walking. Some of these other statements, I do come from a family of 8 in total. I am the 3rd of 6 kids. My husband and I were in 6th grade band together. He played flute, I played clarinet. We were both in the woodwind part of band. It was wonderful. And my family did indeed used to have a pet rooster named Fluffy. He was white and fluffy. And when you would pick him up and pet him, he would actually poo. And the last one, I did win a food eating contest. So this was at church camp. Back in high school, I was the first to eat an entire box of Swiss cake rolls. All right, so hopefully most everyone's here by now. So again, I'm Jennifer Margraf. I'm originally from Central Ohio, so all my family's there, my in-laws are there, it's what I consider home, but I've been down here for about 7 years. I attended Liberty University over in Central Virginia, and I got my undergrad in mathematics there, and then I continued and got my master's in secondary education. And I love math. And that's a picture of me and my son Granger. This is actually what I used for back to school night last year. I was looking at how small he is compared to now, so here's an updated picture for him. That's Granger. He's almost 1.5 years old now. I can't believe how big he's gotten. Okay, so breakdown of grading. For Algebra 1, the major assessments or our tests are 60% of the grade. Minor assessments or quizzes are 30% of the grade, and then assignments are like homework, classwork is 10%. And then for the final grade at the end of the year, each quarter and the final exam are weighted evenly, so each one's worth 20% for the total, or for the final grade at the end of the year. Homework is given every day, and we give out an assignment sheet. This is a colored piece of paper where I write down their individual homework grades. So if you're wondering if they're doing their homework, you can ask them to see their assignment sheet, and you should see the scores there. A stamp means they've got full credit. If they've got partial credit for either not having it done or being late, I'll write in that score. At the end of the unit, I collect that assignment sheet, and I record the total. I total it up, and that's the grade that goes on the SIS. So on SIS, you'll see the 1 unit grade. Individual grades are on the assignment sheet. Homework, for the most part, is graded upon completion. And students must always attempt every problem in order to get credit for that homework. If they don't show work for it, then they're not going to get credit. And they must attempt every problem and show work in order to get credit. And late homework will be accepted for late credit up until the day of the test. And as it is always with all math classes, and really for all classes, homework is really important for them to be successful. It allows them to practice the concept and know what questions to ask when they come in the next class. So if they're not in that practice, then they're not going to be able to recall that information. All right, sorry for that. So our next slide that we have here is retakes. So opportunities will be offered to help students master the skills and make up lost points. Retakes are available for most tests. This is tests, not quizzes. To practice as well, in the final exam, are not eligible to be retaken. Now, in order for a student to retake, they have to fill out a retake contract and complete test corrections. When they complete those test corrections, they'll come in and check it with the key to make sure they did it correctly. And this has to be done by the deadline that's listed on the contract. Retakes for the test will be done during sticker time or after school, most likely during an after school time. And it has to be within 2 weeks. Again, the deadlines will be determined as we get closer to retake time, and that will be listed on the contract. And the highest score is what will be entered into SIS. Now, some resources. Blackboard is the biggest resource and the main resource. Blackboard is where I upload blank copies of notes, blank copies of homework, the key for the notes that we did in class. I also will be recording our lessons in class, and I post that on YouTube, and the link for that is on Blackboard. So if a student is absent on a notes day, they can just simply go on Blackboard, get the notes from there, or they can get it from a friend, or they can watch the video and basically go through the lesson as if they were here in class. All right, sorry again for that intercom interruption. So again, if they're absent on notes, they can just get the information from Blackboard, Friend, or YouTube. Now, if they're absent on a review day, we don't learn anything new on a review day, and the key is once again posted on Blackboard. So they will be expected to take the test as scheduled because they have not missed any material. If they're absent on a quiz or a test day, they'll just make that up the next class that I see them. But they will be responsible for the material that was taught during that class. So again, they can get that from Blackboard or a friend or on YouTube. All right, and then we do have a textbook we used to use for Algebra 1. If they want a copy of that, just send me an email, we can issue one to them. But a couple years ago, the county purchased MathSpace, and MathSpace is an online resource. There is an ebook for it that has instruction like a textbook would, and it has practice problems where they can put in their step-by-step, and it'll give them feedback of what they're messing up. So MathSpace is a great resource, and then over the years I've had students say that Khan Academy has been helpful as well, so I've just included that also. All right, and then, we skipped a slide there. And then extra help. So I highly recommend that students come right away if they're having difficulties. I'm available after school on most days, usually until 3:30, but students can just check with me from week to week or check the whiteboard in the back of the classroom for specific availability. But we recommend they come and get help right away so we can take care of any issues before the next lesson, which will probably build upon what we just learned. Also, as the school year gets underway, probably around October time, Math Honor Society offers free peer tutoring on Thursdays, and that'll be in Quad 10D, just diagonal from here. And then on Wednesday nights, the church across the street, the Hernan United Methodist Church, offers free tutoring as well from 6:45 to 8. And if you're looking for a tutor to hire, just send me an email. I can give you a list of possible tutors for that. And then once again, here's my contact information. Email is preferred. And that's all that I have. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that the rest of your back to school night goes well.